lovely people. My name is Philippa and I live in Mid Wales in the UK and I teach yoga here, and I will also be starting a new online class in January 2025. So if you're interested in that, you can get hold of me and ask me for details. If you like what I'm doing here and you're not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and give me a comment. So today I'm going to be working with a lovely yoga flow and some chanting. So you're welcome to join in with the chanting, or you can just listen. So the only prop I'm using today is this bolster. If you haven't got one of these, then you can just use some rolled up blanket or something. If knees don't work for you sitting like this, then you can be like this is fine, or you can just be sitting on the floor cross-legged, whatever works for you. So we're going to begin just sitting very quietly here with hands on the knees and closing the eyes or lowering the gaze and tuning into the breath. So I'm going to invite you to bring a lovely slow inhale through the nose and a lovely slow exhale through the nose. Just being aware of the cool air moving in, the warm air moving out. And we can imagine that from the top of our head is a beautiful silken thread that's gently drawing us up towards the sun. And at the root of our body, we can imagine roots really growing down deeply into the earth. So I'm going to invite you, the next time you exhale, to engage the muscles of the pelvic floor. This is all the muscles that stop you going to the toilet. And then as you breathe in, you release them. So just working with that for a couple of breaths. This is called the Mula Bandha, and it's really brilliant for general health to be working with these muscles. Lovely, so we're going to begin just making some movements with the head. So I'm going to invite you just to very gently roll the head around. Now I've got a bit of an aching neck today, so I'm being careful. You be careful, don't crank the head backwards. The next time you come to the front, reverse the movement and go the other way. The same amount of times as you went the first way, nice and slow. And then when you get to the front, stop again. And from here, we're just going to drop the chin right down to the chest, still sitting up tall. And then we're going to raise the chin up and look to the sky. Exhaling, dropping the chin to the chest. Inhaling, looking up to the sky. Beautiful. Then come back to your neutral position. I'm going to invite you just to drop one ear, it doesn't really matter which one you do, down to the side. Bring the same arm that you've taken the ear down and take hold of the opposite ear, and we're just going to allow the weight of the arm just to rest. So don't yank, and then we can take the other arm out away from us and feel how that we get that beautiful sweet spot there on the top of the shoulder and the side of the neck. And then we can just swap over. So come back to a neutral place, take the head the other way. You know, I'm really working with what's going on in my neck today, and you do the same. So taking the other arm out to the side, being as gentle as you need to. Remembering your Mula Bandha on the exhale. And then we're going to come back to our neutral position. And then from here, we're going to take one arm out to the side. We're going to come into a side bend. Make sure both sides of the sit bones stay rooted to your bolster or blanket or whatever it is you're sitting on. And then we'll take a look up under the arm. And then we're going to come back all the way over to the other side, doing the same thing. So really pushing back. It's almost worth pushing these ribs out a bit to try and keep the side of the bottom on the ground, looking up under the armpit. we're going to come back to the starting position. Beautiful. Okay, so I've just turned around to show you the next thing we're doing, which is we're just going to bring the arms up and around like that, and then we're going to drop them. So you can either put them on the ground behind, or you can put them on your lumbar, whichever, or just wherever it feels good for you. And then from here, we're going to look up. So we're not cranking the head backwards, but we're going to look up and we're going to push the chest forwards, opening the chest. Still remembering the Mula Bandha on the exhale. Beautiful. So from here, I'm now going to invite you to get rid of whatever it is you've got underneath you. So from here, I'm going to invite you, so you're still in the same position, but without your thing underneath. And if this doesn't work for you, then you can do what we're doing on the back, on your back instead, if it doesn't work for the knees. Or you can just work from all fours like this and just do the same thing from there. So from here, we're going to come forwards into the child. So just drop the head down. If the head doesn't come down, you can always put that hands underneath. Going to take a few moments there. And then we're going to walk the hands over to one side. So I'm walking them right, so I've got my chest kind of over this knee. And again, dropping the head down, and you'll feel how that really opens the side body. Remembering the Mula Bandha on the exhale. And then we're going to come back through the centre. And again, dropping down on the exhale, feeling how that opens the side body. And we're going to come back through the centre, reaching the arms out. And from here, we're going to take the nose along the ground, and we're going to come up to our tiger pose here. So tiger without the tail. So this is, so I've breathed in as I've come forwards. I'm looking forward, spine towards the ground. And then I'm going to exhale, take the spine towards the ceiling and sit down at the same time. So it's like a circle coming through and forwards on the inhale. Exhale, taking the spine to the ceiling and then moving the body back. We'll do that a couple more times. Last time, moving the body through. And exhale, sitting down. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing, but we're going to do it the other way. So you're going to inhale and then exhale, coming up. Inhale, coming down. Inhale, exhale rather, coming up. And then inhale, you'll be inhaling to there, and then you'll probably exhale and come round. So it's inhale, coming down, exhale, coming up. So just, I mean, it may be that the breath works in a different way for you, just doing what's right. We'll do that once more. Beautiful, and then we'll just come and rest. So just bring your hands down. If this isn't a comfortable position, find one that is. And we'll take a couple of big sighs out there. So breathing in. Beautiful. So we're going to do one more thing here. I'm going to invite you to come up to all fours here. And we're going to do what I call wagging the tail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my hips out to the side, and I'm going to take my head around. So I'm trying not, I can look at my tail, but I'm trying to keep the gaze downwards. And then going round and doing it the other way. So it's like a dog wagging its tail. You know how when a dog's really enthusiastic and they wag their tail a lot, they wag everything. So that's what we're doing. One more time each way. And then back to a neutral spine. And then from here, I'm just taking a step backwards actually, so I've got room on my mat. So from here, we're going to step the hands forward, a really long cat this. Stepping the hands forward, trying to keep the hips above the knees, so don't end up doing that. That's not what we're after. From here, I'm just going to try and drop my chest and my head down to the ground. Now, if this is really intense, you can put the elbows down, but that is kind of cheating. So you're meant to sort of keep the elbows up, but obviously if you need to, if it's too much, then that's fine. And we're just breathing here, a couple of breaths. This is the dog. Beautiful. And then we're just going to take the elbows down and scoot forward very gently into the Sphinx. Lovely. So from here we're going to bring the hands back under the chest, tuck the toes, and we're just going to, in our own beautiful way, find our way up to the dog. So just bring the feet forwards and coming into the dog. So the idea with the dog is that you are dropping the heels down but keeping the knees slightly bent, dropping the head towards the head, letting the head go rather, dropping the shoulders towards the knees and breathing. Now this is quite an intense pose, so if it's too much you can always come and rest, and you can always have a little bit of a walking the dog. So this is where you take one heel down and then you reverse and take the other one. So you can always kind of do that to relieve the tension a little bit, and then we can come back to a little bit of stillness here. Make sure that you're pressing through all fingers, and then we're going to gently walk the hands towards the feet towards the hands, and we're coming into our Uttanasana here, standing forward bend. So really important to keep the knees bent. Oh, just adjust my clothes. And dropping the shoulders down. Now it might be that you're really tense here and that this is happening, and that's fine, just let it go to where it is. If you've got any kind of blood pressure issues at all, you can always have your hands on your elbows on your knees like this and just keep your head above water, as it were. You know, if it doesn't work for you to let go. I'm just doing whatever you want here, and you can maybe straighten the knees a little bit if that feels okay, but if it's really intense on the hamstrings, please don't. Just do what's right for you. And then we're going to really bend the knees, and we're just going to find our way gently up to our Tadasana, and I've got to move my camera. Okay, so here we are in our Tadasana. We're just going to take a moment to do a few things here, and then we're going to come and do some warriors with a little bit of chanting with the chakras. So we're going to begin with the feet straight, going straight out in front of you, and we will roll the shoulders back. Make sure you're nice and aligned here with the feet underneath the hips, shoulders directly above the hips. And we can shake the arms out and then let them go. Beautiful. Just taking a moment here to really feel yourself rooting through the floor. Again, rising up with this thread through the top of the head. Beautiful. And then we're just going to take a few little movements. So we can swing from side to side, just letting the arms flop around for a few moments. And then we can come back to the middle, and I'm just going to invite you to take a few rounds with the arms. So just raising the arms all the way up and round, all the way up and round, and then back the other way. This is really opening for the shoulders, for the chest, for the heart space. Lovely. So we're just going to do a little bit with the legs. So just taking the weight over to one side, it doesn't matter which one. You can always bring your arms out for ballast, or you can have a chair or a wall or something to hold on to. And we're just going to take a couple of circles with one leg one way and then back the other way. Just waking up the hips a little bit more. Lovely. And then from here back into our Tadasana, we're going to raise the arms up and look up above the head, getting ready for our warriors. And we can open the arms out and look along one side and look along the other side. Beautiful. Right, so we're going to start our warriors now. So coming towards the back of the mat. And I'm going to invite you to take one foot, I mean, I can mirror you, so you could take your left, if you're in the same position as me, take your left foot out so it's about a couple of inches away from the side of the long edge of the mat. And then we're going to take a big step with the other foot, yeah, and we're going to step diagonally out to the other side of the mat, forwards, but with the foot pointing forward. So I'm going to step forwards like this. And what that does is it brings me up onto the toes of this foot. So I've got my feet are about the same distance away from the edge of the mat. And what this does is this gives me a really solid grounding. I'm not on a tightrope, I'm on railway tracks. Yeah. And then from here, I'm now going to put my heel of this foot down. And what that does is it takes my hips round a bit, because I'm not very flexible in my hips. So it takes my hips round a bit like this, which is fine. It drops my heel down, but it means that my back foot is still facing forwards. Yeah, I see lots of people doing this, okay? Now, I can really feel that on the knee. It is really not a good position. So it's much better when you're coming into the warrior poses to come up onto the toes first and then take the foot down. And it will come in, the heel probably will come in a bit, but you've got the toes pointing forward, and to get yourself into the habit of doing that, because it's much safer for the knee. Okay, so I'm looking down at my front foot. So if this feels really awkward, you can always just bring your gait further together. Just do what's right for you. Looking down at the front toe so I can see that I'm in the right position. Back leg is straight, front leg is bent. And let's take the hands down to begin with. So this is warrior one, legs. So from here, we're going to raise the arms up into warrior one, and then opening to warrior two with a lam, L-A-M, breathing in, lam, look along the back arm, look along the front arm, raising the arms back up to warrior two, one even, and vam here for the svadhisthana in the sacral. Vam. Then we're going to take the arms back behind us and interlace the fingers on a Ram, R-A-M, for the Manipura. Breathing in. Ram. Then we're going to come forward into humble warrior on a Yam for the heart. So breathing in, Yam. Then from here we're going to let go of the hands, come back through to our Tadasana, opening the arms out, and we're going to do hum for the throat. So breathing in, hum. We're going to raise the arms up so that above the head, sorry you can't see my arms, and we're going to do an Om here for the Anya. Om. Then bringing the hands together, we're going to come down with an Om, which is A-U-M, for the crown chakra. Breathing in, Om. Beautiful. So let's come and do it on the other side. So getting yourself into your good, solid, steady warrior one position, raising up the back leg, coming down, raising up the arms, opening with a lam, breathing in, lam. Look along the back arm, look along the front arm. Inhale, raising the arms up, and vam for the Svadhisthana. Vam. Taking the hands back behind us on a ram. Ram. Interlacing the fingers the other way, the awkward way. Inhaling here, and we are going to do yam for the heart, coming down to humble warrior. Breathing in, yam. Gently finding your way back to Tadasana. We're going to open and do harm for the throat. Harm. Arms coming up, and om for the anya. Om. And then joining the hands, om for the crown. Well done, lovely. So let's come down now, and we'll just do a couple of counter poses, and then we'll do the relaxation. So finding your way into semi-supine, we can bring the arms out at shoulder height, dropping the knees down to one side, looking over the other shoulder. And then coming up and going the other way. So you can either just do that again, or you can cross the leg over to make it a little bit more challenging, but only do this if it feels good for you. Looking over the other way and just seeing if you can just release everything, let go of the muscles. Coming back through center, uncrossing and crossing, going back the other way. Beautiful. Lovely. So I'm going to invite you now to come into a happy baby. So you can either take the hands behind the legs like this, with the feet up towards the sky, or you can bring the hands onto the feet, rocking a little bit from side to side. Beautiful. So just doing whatever you want to for a moment here. So you might want to have a stretch, you might want to have a little bit of a wriggle, or come into a bridge pose or something. But just do a little bit of something, and then find your way down to your Shavasana. And we're going to take a few moments here, listening to the music, just being gently letting go. Most important pose of the whole practice. Don't move unless you really want to. Just stay here as long as you like. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much for everyone who's been donating. And as I said at the beginning, if you like what I'm doing, please do subscribe, do give me a thumbs up or a comment. And if you want to get in contact with me to make a donation, or because you want to join in with the online classes, you can contact me via the email at the beginning and the end of the video. Thank you so much. Namaste.